Hey everyone, it's Brenda from Stampin' Up. I wanted to show you some quick and easy cards that I made recently for my neighbor. I made a set of 8 thank you cards to give her as a gift, as she just lost her husband a couple weeks ago. I thought that thank you cards would be kind of a nice gift to give her. She's always really admired my handmade cards. I wanted to keep it somewhat quick and simple, so I decided to use some of the stamp sets from Stampin' Up that use two-step stamping. So what I used, here is my January hostess code, just in case you need that. So today I'm going to be using or showing you cards that I used hand pen Petals, color and contour, and the new stamp set, Beautifully Happy. Now this is only available for a short time during Sale-A-Bration. It is free with a $100 purchase. It is not available to purchase, okay? So this has to be earned free with the Sale-A-Bration that goes on until the end of February. So let me show you the cards that I made. The first one I made is this one. And for this card, I used, you know what, let me show you all the cards first, then I'll go through what I used. So here's one, which is polished pink color. I used this one, which is pale papaya. And this one with balmy blue. And this one is fresh freesia. All right. So to make these cards, I used Country Gingham 6x6, which is for the blue only. And then I used the In Color 6x6 for these In Color cards. And this pack of paper right now is clearanced for $4.60 for 40 sheets. You can't beat that. That's a really good deal. I'm trying to use it up because it's going out with the In Colors for 2021 to 2023 will be retiring when the annual catalog goes out. So I'm trying to use these up. I do really like these colors, especially the polished pink is so pretty. So anyway, I'm using those 6x6s, of course. So then I'm using the same colors of ink. Polished pink, pale papaya, balmy blue, fresh freesia, and then for the leaves, I use soft succulent on the leaves for these 2 cards. All right. The other stamp sets I used, okay, so for this one, the thanks comes from Artistically Inked. And wait a minute, I put my stamp sets too far away from me so that I couldn't reach it. Then I used the color and contour little dots on that, okay? And for this one, that is the color and contour. For these, I used the sand from Seaside Bay. I thought it kind of went like right around the flowers nicely, so that's why I used those dots. For the I want to keep saying petal pink, and it's polished pink. Polished pink one, I used the hand pen Petals. This is the stamp set, but I also use the thanks from that. And then the dots came from the Beautifully Happy stamp set. All right. And so fresh freesia is the one that I'm going to be making today. Okay. The thank you sentiment actually came from Grassy Grove. I just love how that looks. It just looks so cute. And then, of course, I used the dots from Color and Contour. Today, I'm going to change it up. I think I went a little crazy on these dots. I don't really like how many speckles I have there. So today, I decided I would use the sand from Friends Are Like Seashells. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using today. And I forgot to tell you that this sentiment is cut out with the rectangle stitched dies, which is a great set. It comes with all these rectangles. There's all different sizes there, okay? It's a great set to have. Hopefully they're not going to retire that, but I'm sure they probably will with my luck. So today, like I said, this is what we're going to be making similar. So I'm going to need my Beautifully Happy, and I'm going to need Grassy Grove, and then the Friends Are Like Seashells. And then I'm going to need my Fresh Freesia ink. And the little gems are pastel adhesive sequins. These are in the mini catalog. And then, of course, we need the Fresh Freesia paper from the pack and other paper, which I will get to here in a minute. We're also going to need the contour dies, these two. Also, just a little basic corner rounder. And then, of course, your Stamparatus or any stamping blocks. All right, so let's put this stuff aside. Let's leave that here for now. So today, what you're going to need to make this card is a piece of white for your card base. Of course, that's always 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And you're going to round the corners on these. All right. Then you're going to need a white piece that you're going to use the color and contour dies on, but you're going to stamp it first. All right, this is 4 1/4 by 5.5. It doesn't have to exactly be that size, but that's a really good size for this die, I think. All right, line these up. You're going to need another piece of white for the inside. I did not show you the inside. I left these all blank, and I just put a strip down to make it a little prettier inside. I left them blank because when you're writing a thank you card, especially when you've had a loved one die, I think it's really nice to have a lot of room to write, because the nice thank you cards are going to be for people that have really done special things for you, and you may have a lot to say. And so I thought it didn't really need another sentiment. So that's why I'm leaving it blank. I think that would be good. So then we're going to need a DSP, which I'm using the Fresh Freesia, and this is going to be on the outside. All right. Now I cut these. I just like to leave just a little tiny bit of white around the edge, just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. I mean 5 3/8. Excuse me. Then you're going to need a little strip for the inside. Now this is bigger than what you need, but it's easier to glue that way. So this is 3/4 by 6. And then you need a little cardstock scrap for the sentiment. All right. And if you want to use the Stamparatus for this, you can use a bigger scrap to stamp that on. It might be a little easier. So this is what you need. If you want to take a screenshot of that with the little card, this is what we're making. All right. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to round the corners. So I just have a little, I don't even know what Stampin' Up! Has right now for corner rounders, but this is just a quick little easy one. I have so many corner rounders, it's crazy. But you just round those corners like that. Very simple to do, okay? And the DSP, I'm going to do the same thing. And then these are going to line up just like this, all right? So this for the inside is going to be corner rounded as well, but we want to put this strip on here first, all right? So I think I'll do that now. So I'm just going to take my glue. Now, you don't have to, you can either put it on here or you can just put it on here. Either way, whichever way you feel more comfortable in doing so. So, I mean, if you line this up, you can really just kind of do this and then you'll know that you've got it. Uh-oh. Of course, that's going to be too much glue right there, so I'm not going to be happy with that. Let me get my silicone craft sheet here so that I don't get it on my mat. I'm just going to line this up along the edge. All right, now this, see how that comes out like that? Ooh, I didn't get that straight. Wait a minute. One thing that's nice about glue, it does give you a little wiggle room before it dries. I want to have that lined up even. And then we're gonna let that dry while we're working on everything else, okay? I'm just gonna set that aside. All right, so now I'm going to stamp my image. And I'm going to use the Stamparatus. All right, so I have this all lined up. So I'm going to just put this in like so, and that's going to stamp right like that. All right, we want it right in the middle because when you come back in with this die, you want that image to be in the middle. All right. So I'm going to ink that up with my fresh freesia, or not fresh freesia, wait a minute. I'm getting myself all confused. Black, we want black first. So I'm going to ink it up with black. And I'm using the Stamparatus so that I can come back and stamp it again if I don't like how it's stamped. It may need to be a little darker. My ink pad probably needs to be re-inked. See, that didn't turn out very well. But the great thing about Stamparatus is you just keep stamping it and it's going to go right in the same spot. All right. And I think one more time ought to do it, especially right in that middle right there. I want it a little darker than that. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to just take this off. Now, you know, I haven't said this in a video, and if you have a Stamparatus, you already know this, but if you don't already know this, there is another panel that goes on the top like this so that you can do more than one image and just do one and do another. So that makes it very convenient. But anyway, I'm going to take this off right now and I'm going to show you how to do these other stamps, okay? All right, so we have the flower image and I've used red, so these photopolymer stamps do stain, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt them. It's just the red, anything with red in it, so red and brown, they always stain. your stamps, but that's not a big deal. We're just going to line this up like this. And the easiest way to get this stamped is if you look at that little center there that has no ink, you're going to line that up right with this. And I hope I don't get my head in the way, but I am going to just go ahead and do this. I'm hoping that I can do it without being in the way, but like I've said in previous videos, I am nearsighted, and even with bifocals, I have to get really close sometimes if I want to make sure that I'm right, lining everything up correctly. There we go. See how easy that is? It's just so easy. You don't have to worry about coloring it in. Look at the tones. It's just so pretty. So now I'm going to use this one. All right, so this is going to stamp right over this, and I'm going to use the soft succulent. All right, we're just going to line that up. Hopefully I'm getting this. Just like that. Now, if you want to bring in the Stamparatus, I can show you how this works. You can use your Stamparatus for all of your stamping if you'd like. So if you line this back up, you can take this stamp and line it up exactly how it's going to stamp. Like so. I have to get closer. All right, like that. You bring in your little thing here, pick it up. I like to use a little extra magnet. Like I said, I broke mine, and so that's why I only have one of these, but the Stamparatus comes with 2 of these big magnets. Like I've said in a previous video, they're so strong that if you clash them together, they will break. So you have to be really careful with them. And I wasn't. I broke mine like the first week I had it. So just stamp that up, ink it up, and just put that over the top like that. Now that didn't stamp, so I can just do it again. I don't think I pushed hard enough. There we go. See how easy that is? Okay. That's our 2-step stamping. Now I have that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in my little sand stamp. Okay. And I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia and go around. You know what? No, I'm going to cut first. Let me do this first, because then I know exactly. So I'm going to line this up because I want it to be exactly in the middle if I can. And see, this isn't completely in the middle of the paper, and that's why I like to make it a little bit bigger. So now I can move this die over rather than having it right in the middle. Then the image wasn't in the middle, so I have room to move it up a little bit like that. Okay. And of course I'm going to bring in the old trusty washi tape and just put that on so that it doesn't move. I'm going to run this through my machine, which is off camera, but let me just do this real quick. All right, so now you just take this die off. And look how pretty this is. All right, gorgeous. I love, love, love these color and contour dies. I mean, I guess they're just the contour, but they're just so pretty. And if they retire these, I'm going to be so sad. I use them all the time. So now I'm going to bring in my fresh freesia and use the little stamp from Friends Are Like Seashells. I'm going to just put little dots around. I don't want to go too overboard, but just like that. That's good. Well, you know what? I'll do one more right there. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so now we're going to need this little sentiment here. So if I want to take my Stamparatus again, let's just do this 2 ways. Okay, so first you can take the Stamparatus and a larger piece of cardstock so that you got wiggle room. And take one of your little panels here. And we need our, I need a thank you die, and I thought I had that out. Oh, I do have it out now. Where did it go? You know, every time I do a video, every time I try to do something, I always lose something. Here it is. Okay. So we're just going to stamp that. All right. Oh, I keep forgetting this is a clean stamp, so we don't need this extra foam. All right. Let's see how hard that magnet is to pull up. This is pure magnet here. When you put the foam on, it's a little easier. It doesn't stick quite as hard. But boy, you take that out and whoo, it's hard to get out. That's why I have this painter's tape around it so that I can pull up to get it off. If you don't have that on there, it's going to be really, really hard to remove. So, okay, so I'm just going to pick this up and I'm going to ink it. And I'm doing this in fresh freesia as well. Uh-oh. Nope, here we go. Now, that should not have happened, but we know what happened is I pushed it too hard. So, that's no problem. I'm going to take my little chamois here and rinse that off, and I'm just going to do this over. So, sometimes it happens, but at least it wasn't on my card. All right, let me try that again. I just have to be more careful with stamping it and not pushing too hard. And I'm going to stamp it a couple times to make it darker, just like that. All right. Now to make this scalloped edge, I used the contour dies, and that got put somewhere here. Oh, y'all gonna think I'm scatterbrained. Where did that thing go? I just showed it to you a little while ago. Oh, my Lord have mercy. Oh, here it is. Okay. Jeez. Okay. So, this is, notice this is way bigger than what I have. So, I'm going to line this up off to the side, like about like that, and take my washi. I can get it off. All right. And I'm just going to put it like that. All right. I'm going to run this through my machine. So now when I take this off, it's going to be too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up, get these holes to catch right back in there. Oops. I don't know why these holes need to be punched out. So I'm going to take my take and pick tool, and I'm going to get these little holes, punch all that out, just let that out. This thing comes in handy for so many things. If you don't have one of these, you have the pokey tool on the end. You have the little pickup tool on the end. It's got a little gummy. And it also comes with scoring ends. This comes out. And so then it's got a little scraper. And then it's got scoring ends that you can put on as well. So, but if I get these punched out, hopefully this will line back up. And they have to be punched out anyway. I don't want to leave the little pieces in there. So there we go. See, it kind of just locked back in there. So just run it through again like this. I'll show you in a second. You don't even have to run it all the way through again. You just run it part of the way through. There we go. And it's a little bitty one. So that just fits right on there like that. Now, we are ready to assemble our card. So let's bring back in our pieces. So we're going to line this up like that. This is going to go on here like this. And then this is going to be popped up. I'm going to use some dimensionals on that. So let's just do this. All right. There we go. Now, when you are doing your cards, just make sure that you always check to make sure it's opening the right direction. Sometimes we'll have it turned around like this and we forget and we put it on there and then it opens the wrong way and we're screwed up. So I didn't get that exactly straight, but oh well. Okay. So now we're going to put this on. Now you could pop this up if you want. I did pop some of them up on my other cards. I did not point that out, but on these I did not. So just center that like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to take a couple little dimensionals and put them on the back of this. And remove the backing and just put that on like that. See how simple that was? It was quick. Now I'm going to take these little pastel adhesive back sequins. Now, you know, I thought this was interesting. I don't know if you can tell on here. Look how the difference in color. Some of these look like pale papaya and some of them look like fresh freesia. So I use the ones that look like fresh freesia. Now another thing that this comes in handy for is the little gooey end. Like I told you, you can just pick these up like that and just place them on instead of trying to figure out how to pick them up with your fingers. All right, so that's that. All right, now if you remember, we had the inside of this card. So I'm just going to take and trim these little ends off. Oh, that's so sticky. All right, and then I'm going to take my corner rounder and round these. Just like that. And then we just glue this inside, and that is it. my glue back over here. Now you can go around and ink the edge around this paper. I usually do that, and when I first was doing these cards, I forgot, so I just made them all the same. But anyway, that's our card. I hope you like that. Let me get these cards back out. Whoops. Oh boy, sorry about that. I keep bumping the table. Okay, so of course we have those, the pink ones. Oh, I got a little off. And the blue and the pale papaya. There we go. That's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed my video. I would sure appreciate it if you like it and comment. If you have any comments or questions, just let me know. But if you would like to subscribe, I would love to have more subscribers. And like and share, and check out my Facebook page if you haven't already. The link is below. And I will see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.